Ping! Okay, we got everything here on the table, and I already went and I cleaned everything off really well, or as well as I could get it. As you can see, I couldn't get some of that out of there. But in general, everything's cleaned up and ready to be looked at. I find a stone and take it home and polish it and hope it shines, and also there's a chicken. Okay, so let's look at what we got here. We got some big old pottery shards. I don't think I've found any like this before. You know, with this darker interior, or darker exterior, and the dark, yeah, it is dark interior. Man, my brain is not working. We got like 3 layers of stuff here. We got this color, and then the deeper glazing, and darker inside, and the traditional crockery pieces. Some thinner pieces. I think these are just like shattered off of them, but it's hard to tell. This is a pretty decent sized piece here. Yeah, definitely the bottom of the thing. I believe this is the top lip. Yeah, here's another different. These guys though. These are the ones that are interesting to me for some reason, because I haven't found, that I can remember anyway, found many of this color. So let's set these guys off to the side. Hello guys to the side. And let's look at the oddball stuff. And this fuse though. This fuse is pretty cool. I was going to discard it, and then I realized that the threading is on the glass part of the fuse itself. And I'm not sure if, you know, modern fuses are like that. Or else maybe the screw thread, the metal part screws on like that. Either way, I'm not sure. I couldn't get all the gook out of here to see what was inside. But inside there's dirt. That's kind of interesting. And here we got what is probably a nail. Hello, Mr. Nail. And this piece of blue glass. I'm doubting it's like beer bottle or something. It may be a piece of antique type glass. It's got a frosted outside. If you can see, that's frosted. I don't think it's sandblasted or worn, because I'd imagine this side would get that way too if it was exposed. So I'm thinking that might actually be how the glass was, though I'm not certain. And we got these here. These here, you know, and some of these I really liked. Let me get the. Okay, you see, we have some here that had almost had animation on them. Woo! These have designs on them. You know, and this is really pretty rich purple. Aha! Purple that seemed to have kept its color for quite a few years after being, you know, thrown in a field somewhere and plowed over and under 1,000 times. This one, interesting, because I'm trying to figure out what that PHIA. I don't know. FIA. Pennsylvania Higher Intellect Association? I don't know. But I highly doubt that. That one's interesting. And here we got some just standard old, you know, probably white bowl teacup type jigger hickeys. Interesting. I'll put this off to the side. Let's take a look at Monster McNelly here. This one I think is a piece of brickyard slag, though I am not exactly certain about that. There's a really flat area here that has almost like crystalline structure, and there's like glass crystalline structure in here, which is slag, how, you know, brickyard slag does look. I don't know. These right angles though sort of give me that man-made type vibe. Whereas it being, you know, there's goofy stuff in there like that. It being some type of natural rock, I just don't think so. Because, especially with discoloration and texture of material, is slag. You know, and this droppy thing on there, that's definitely, you know, like slags or drops. So I'm like 99.9% certain this is a piece of brickyard slag. Maybe we'll get the BFH out and see what's inside. Oh ho ho. Alright, let's get some of these rocks. Now this is probably the most interesting piece that I found out there. And I'm thinking it's like some type of two-part epoxy. Like a JB Weld type deal where they have it in a tube, you squeeze it out to fix something, and it may have been on a piece of machinery where they fix something and squeeze the rest of the tube out. You know, because I'm not used to rocks being, you know, sort of looking like a pile of poop. And it has, you know, that very much rock feel. I know JB Weld and those epoxies are really tough. Sorry about the sound there. I'd say almost certainly this is a piece of some sort of epoxy squeezed out. You know, and then like there's the blue pointy stick of destiny. This comes around like this and tapers off into a little tiny tail that flops over, which is pretty indicative of squeezing something out of a tube. So we'll put that over here with the brickyard slag. This piece is an interesting piece. We got multiple layers upon layers of rock. Maybe I can turn this down a little bit. That might help. Layers upon layers of rock here. And at first I thought it might be some sort of calcite, but I don't believe it is. It's not very... Ho-ho! Crap flying everywhere! Now this is layered... I didn't realize it was that folly-a-party? Maybe it's folly-a-party-ite. Whew. Well, that's... interesting layers. I wonder if I can get a bigger piece off. Da-da-da-da. Oh, I'm bending the dental pick of destiny. Okay, I'm thinking this is just some type of sandstone. And now I got layerite pieces laying everywhere. And speaking of layers, we've got this dude here. Or dudette. This is pretty cool. We've got a layer of either quartz or dolomite coming through there. This is the gray limestone that frequents the whole area around here. And what's really cool is we've got prime example of how this stuff's laid down in fine layers sometimes. I mean, that's about as layery as you can get. I mean, you look up the definition of layers in the dictionary, this thing should be there. And honestly, I think I'm going to take and cut some slabs off of this and try to cab it. Because sometimes this limestone can be pretty tough. And maybe not. That's really soft. Now, as you can see, yeah, see that up there, this dolomite or calcite or quartz is much denser than this, and it's wearing away the limestone outside, and the veins are sticking out. Well, maybe we won't be doing that. I don't know, but maybe we will. Now let's look at this piece. Here's another piece of limestone, and it's got a piece of redite in it. What that is, I really don't know. Some type of inclusion, and I haven't really looked at any of this stuff yet, other than just cleaning it off. So it's like, ooh, that is really, that might just be some sort of red clay or so. Because it didn't come away when I brushed it with the toothbrush, but it's, you know, flaking out of there pretty easy right now. Whew. Yeah. But this actually might be some chalk and limestone, because this is very, very, the whiter of the white, the whiter of the gray is very, very chalky. Yeah. How do you tell if it's chalk? Does it write on something? Yep, there it is. Now, this rock, you know, this is quite an interesting piece. Because we've got, I thought it might have been a piece of brickyard slag, but the more I looked at it, I'm thinking no. Because we have a vein, blue pointy stick. We've got a vein of something running through here, which goes pretty much the whole way across and does some didos. And we've got other mineral flashiness in there. It looks like we have like calcite or quartz or something. So I'm thinking this one, I'm going to take and cut like this face here, or maybe just take it over on the wheel and flatten this face out, polish it, and see if I can get a better idea of what's going on in there, because this might be one to slab up. So that will be a future video for sure. And now we have this dirt all over my hands. We've got all of these rocks. And here we've got a piece of very whiteite, which is probably a hunk of quartz. And this piece here, I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, man, that looks like Jasper. Whether Jasper occurs naturally around here, I'm not particularly certain, but just by looking at it, that's the sheen that Jasper usually has. And it's, well, look at that, it's actually pretty hard because it's making, if you can see the marks that the pointy stick is making on there, that's pretty hard. That's probably one to cut. And here's a piece of, this is probably quartz. I mean, we've got that quartzy look here, and yeah, we got some veins of stuff and some fractures. And it's coolazite, man. Coolazite. And here we have a piece that looks similar to this one now that I looked at it more. But I believe this is like the field stone. If you can see the super shiny of shininess that you can catch the glistens in there. That's like crystalline sandstone, which I believe that's what it is. Still cool. Here is a piece of quartz or calcite. Yeah, chalcedony. Possibly. I'd say more on the quartz line. Oh, here's another piece that's got those super shinies in there. But it also reminds me somewhat of this. So that could be that quartz crystalline jaspery material. So I think I'm going to end up cutting that too. Maybe slicing a slab off of it. And after this one cleaned up, you can see the super shinies on there. That's your crystalline fieldstone quartzish stuff. And then we got this guy. This is a composite rock with what appears to be some quartz in there. You can see we got quartz, maybe some chalcedony, and sandstone. And I'm not sure how fast this stuff is. It seems to be pretty... It's like a tooth. This one would probably be a good one to cut too. And big old whiteazite, you know, this milky quartz type deal. It's probably what, you know, this and this is. These are all probably some variety of milky quartz. The same way with thing 1 and thing 2 here. milky quartz. Okay, and then these three are pretty interesting here. Let's start with this one. This one's pretty much a piece of quartz, and you can see we got some fractures in there, but it's fairly clear. I'm gonna definitely cut this one too. So looking forward to that. I'll set the ones that I am gonna cut off to the side. Which side? I don't know, that side. And then we got this little piece of citrine quartz. It seems to be pretty nice too. That one could end up being a nice stone. Like I said, depending on what's inside. So that's going to go into the cut pile. And here, this one, I looked at that and I'm like, what the heck is this? So you can see it's very black, very gray, but it also has this structure or layer on the outside at certain places. It's not very, that stuff's not very strong. The rest of the stone is not very strong either. And as I was looking at it, especially from this end, I don't know if you can see this with the camera or not, there's almost a structure like wood. So I'm wondering if this might not be actually some sort of petrified wood, or partially petrified wood, or stuff that's just flaking apart in my hands. I don't know. It could be charcoal that is starting the petrification process, or because it could be something completely off the wall that I don't know. Let's see, says it right on chalk, or well, it gives a little bit of black. I'm trying to, I don't have my testing set up to see if it's magnetic or not. Now, if anybody has any clue about what this may be, leave a comment, and we'll make fun of you if it's a crazy answer, even if you might be right, but we won't. For goodness sakes, we won't do that. So here's the stuff I found out in the field this year, and as I said, we're gonna take these couple rocks here, definitely, and cut them. Those will be separate videos. I'm not sure about these guys, and I don't know if I should try doing the poop or not. We might do that, because hey, why not? Let's do something unexpected. So, well, I had some fun, and thanks for spending some time with me, and have a good evening.